Hello friends, welcome back, and if you are new to our channel, thank you for stopping by. Today I am back again with a very easy knitting pattern, perfect for the beginners. And for this pattern we need stitches in the multiple of 2 plus 1. So I have taken 30 stitches plus 1, 31 stitches. I have already worked 2 rows of knit. And now let's begin with the first step or the first row. I slipped one stitch out, you can knit it as well, and then I wind my yarn around my right needle, and then I'm going to work 2 stitches together. Actually I'm going to purl. Now again I wind the yarn around my right needle and I purl 2 stitches together. And this pattern is a 4-row pattern, and this is the first row of the pattern. Now let's wind the yarn around the needle and work 2 stitches together. I purl 2 stitches together. Again I wind the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. So this is the sequence for the first row of this pattern. Again, you can also say a yarn over from the front and then working 2 stitches together. Here I wind the yarn and then purl 2 stitches together. Again I just wrap my yarn around my right needle and purl 2 stitches together. Actually when we are wrapping it around the needle there is an increase, so for that, just to balance the pattern, here I am working 2 stitches together. So I wind the yarn around my right needle, purl 2 stitches together. Now I have 2 stitches left in my left needle. I wind the yarn around my right needle and purl 2 stitches together. This finishes our very first row. Moving on to the second row, the edge stitch is slipped off, or you can knit yarn forward, and then I am going to purl all across. See, one of the stitches is going to look a bit longer than the other. That too is to be purled. Please do not leave that off. If you leave it off, your number of stitches is going to decrease. So for the second row of the pattern, we are just going to purl all across. So this is the second row of the pattern. I am going to purl all across. Now this is a beautiful pattern which needs stitches in the multiple of 2 plus 1, and it is a 4-row pattern, and for this sample I have taken 30 stitches plus 1, 31 stitches. And this is a beginners friendly pattern, perfect for sweaters, cardigans, stoles. So here I have reached the end, and finally the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So this completes my second row. Let's move on to the third row of the pattern. The edge stitch you can slip off or you can knit. This is the third row. So here the edge stitch I knit, yarn forward, I am going to work a purl. This is the third row. After that, yarn is wound around the right needle and I am going to purl 2 stitches together. Again the yarn is wrapped around the right needle, I purl 2 stitches together. Yarn is wrapped around the right needle, I purl 2 stitches together. This is the third row of the pattern. This is the sequence that is to be followed all across. Continue working in the same manner. So here the yarn is wrapped around the needle, right needle, and we purl 2 stitches together. So this is the sequence we are going to repeat Yarn is wrapped around the right needle and we purl 2 stitches together. Again, the yarn is wrapped around the needle and then we are going to purl 2 stitches together. Yarn is wrapped around the needle. We are going to purl 2 stitches together. Yarn is wrapped around the needle. We are going to purl 2 stitches together. Yarn is wrapped around the needle. We are going to purl 2 stitches together. Let us continue working in the same manner. Yarn is wrapped around the needle and I'm going to purl 2 stitches together. I have 1 stitch left. Now I am going to take my yarn backwards and the edge stitch is going to be a knit. So this completes the 3rd row of the pattern. If you count the stitches, you will see that we have exactly 31 number of stitches. Now if we are a fresher, it is better we count the stitches. Let's move on to the 4th row of the pattern. The edge stitch is either slipped off or it is purled. After that, we are going to purl all across each and every stitch. We are not going to leave the extended stitch as well. So this is the 4th row of the pattern. So see how easy the pattern is. The wrong side we just have to knit and the right side is also equally easy. So working the 4th row of the pattern, I am working purl all across. So here I am quite close to the end and I am just working purl. This is one of the easy pattern, perfect for projects to be used during the spring or summer, and the last stitch or the edge stitch is also going to be a purl. So this completes the first set of pattern. As I told you, it is a 4-row pattern and I have completed 4 rows. Now I'm going to show you the pattern again. So continuing with the first row, the edge stitch, we can either slip it off or we can knit. Yarn forward. I'm going to wrap the yarn around the right needle and work the 2 stitches together. I'm going to purl 2 stitches together. So this is the sequence. I wrap the yarn around the right needle and purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn around the needle, purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. So this is the sequence to be followed for this row. This is the first row. I am showing the pattern once again and I told you it is a 4-row pattern. This is the first row. I am working the first row of the second set of pattern. I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn around the needle, purl 2 stitches together. Again, the same process is repeated. See how easy it is. I wrap the yarn around the needle and then purl 2 stitches together. Again, I wrap the yarn around the needle, final 2 stitches left that I am going to purl together. So this completes the first row of the pattern. Let's move on to the second row of the pattern. Now the edge stitch, you can slip it off or you can just knit, yarn forward, and I am going to purl each and every stitch all across. So this is the second row of the pattern. This is the wrong side and we just have to purl all across. Please be careful with the stitch. And so here my second row is done. A few stitches left and here that's the second last and this is the last stitch and this is also going to be a purl. So my second row comes to an end. See how beautiful the pattern is looking. Moving on to the third row of the pattern. The edge stitch I knit yarn forward, please be careful, and this stitch is going to be purled. After that I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. Now again the sequence is to be repeated. I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn around the needle and purl 2 stitches together. So this is the sequence for the third row of the pattern. I am showing it again so that it becomes easy for the beginners who are trying this pattern for their projects. So this is the third row of the pattern. I wrap the yarn around the right needle and purl 2 stitches together. I wrap the yarn again and purl 2 stitches together. This is the third row of the pattern. Let us continue. I wrap the yarn around the right needle, purl 2 stitches together. Now yarn backwards and a knit. So this completes the third row of the pattern. See how nice the pattern is looking. Moving on to the fourth row of the pattern. This is the wrong side of the pattern. I slip 1 stitch out, or you can also purl. It is up to you. After that I am going to purl all across. This is the fourth row of the pattern, which is equally easy. And here what we do is we are just going to purl all across. So here I am almost at the end of the fourth row, just a few stitches left, and here I am working purl till the very last stitch or the last edge stitch. So my 2 set of pattern is complete. I hope you all have understood by now how it is to be worked. This is the 2 set of pattern. It's a beautiful pattern, perfect for projects to be worked during the spring and the summer. So my dear friends, this brings me to the end of the video. If you all have liked it, do give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family members. If you are new, do consider subscribing. So till we meet again, it is bye-bye from all of us here at Plants, Crochet, Cooking and more.